Here's the project that I made for this lab. This is a prototype of a cover that will rotate to shield an area from a light source using 2 photoresistors. Here's also a simulation of what it appears to be. So if I use this other phone to make a flashlight, the cover will rotate to shield the area from the light. As you can see on the screen, it can simulate where the light is and where the cover should be, along with the voltage difference between the 2 sensors. The circuit works by using 2 photoresistors that are part of voltage dividers to pass a signal that carries data corresponding to the amount of light hitting each photoresistor. The signal then passes to the Arduino's 10-bit ADC to convert it to discrete digital values. These digital values are then run through a digital filter using a 20-point moving average to help reduce noise. I then use the Arduino to find the differences between digital codes from signal 1 and signal 2. Using these differences, I was able to find what differences corresponded to an angle of 90 degrees and negative 90 degrees for the servo motor. And since the servo motor is controlled by pulse width modulation, I was able to use any new difference and remap this to control the pulse width modulation, which in turn would control the angle that the servo was set at so that it was angled towards where the light was estimated to be coming from. The differences in digital codes and also the angle at which the servo should be set at was then printed to the serial monitor and imported into processing. Using this, I could take data from sensing and turn it into physical actuation, as well as also turning it into digital modeling. So when you first try to load up the model, you'll realize that there's only these 3 circles shown. 1 green circle to represent the area being covered, and 2 smaller yellow circles to represent the 2 sensors. So the reason that there's not anything else right now is that I've set up the Arduino to not actually try to capture light and to cover the area. And this is because it's only ambient light in the room right now. I want this circuit to work to try to detect where a more extreme light is coming from, because if it's just detecting ambient light, it would just go crazy when there's no light going on right now. I've also set up the circuit so that it can only work if there's a light moving somewhat centripetally around it, instead of just having one light have extreme light exposure while the other one has nothing. So if I try to only have 1 light lit, it won't move, but if you start to expose it more, the cover will start to move and the model will start up. You can also realize that above the sensors, there's a voltage value. This voltage value is the differences between the voltages read by the 2 sensors. So if you're in a more extreme setting, such as having the light all the way at one side, you notice that the voltage is high. But if you're more just on top, where the light is evenly spread across both photoresistors, the voltage difference will be much lower.